Mac, you see this? You hear about this?
What?
The Jackass crew now has a constellation in the night sky.
Constellation.
What did I say?
You forgot the T.
Check the tape. Each member has officially gotten their own star, and together, the stars create a giant penis. They call it the Little Dicker.
Goo, I gotta say.
Yeah.
These days in my lifetime here, I guess just lifetime wouldn't be appropriate there. Maybe over my whole lifetime at this point, I'm not sure I've been more jealous than someone, just like a normal dude.
Yeah.
Like, of course, I can never be Barry Bonds. I can never be Shohei Ohtani. All these crazy superstar athletes, musicians, throw them all in there. But why Jackass is so magical is because that was all us at one point, or aspired to be. Like, it was a possibility any of us could have been Bam Margera, Ryan Dunn, Johnny Knoxville. And so the fact that they have become so successful that they have been recognized astronomically off this planet, outside of this literal world, they have stars named after them to create up a constellation. And what does it form? The funniest thing always, a giant penis.
Now, I'm not sure if they were given these stars or if they did one of those, you make a phone call, I want to buy that star, I want to buy that star, I want to buy that highway type of thing.
Oh.
But either way, like, you know what I'm saying?
Should we
Did
be
they
buying
do it on their
stars? Is that stars and Pokemon are the two things that are going to the moon?
You can buy.
The moon is in the stars.
The moon is in the stars. The moon is a star. You can, that's like when people say, oh, a whale's a fish. But yeah, you used to be able to buy everything back in the day if you wanted a stretch of the highway.
What do you think the people on the moon say when things are going to the moon?
They're probably too busy.
This is going to go to the sun.
It's probably too busy chewing up all that free cheese. But let me ask you this, Mac. This is a stellar idea.
Yeah.
An interstellar idea. We're having a tough time this episode, guys. Real bad
We're
so
all
far.
around it.
Do you have enough friends that you could have done this?
Yes, I do.
Oh, man, because I don't.
I definitely do. Yeah.
I don't.
But I also because of the nature of my job, Goo, I'm close with a few co-workers as well.
Yeah.
You know, home friends, college friends. I have enough. I could have done a cock. I could have got a cock done for sure.
What do you think I could do? Like, say if I have 4 friends, what do you think me and my 4 friends
You could do a sack or maybe one side of the shaft.
I don't want just a sack. A half shaft?
Max, that could be anything.
It could be a fucking an alignment of stars.
We should buy a constellation and call it Max Sack.
So what do you think? So you want to do Max Sack.
Mm-hmm.
How many stars do we need for Max Sack?
We got to find a good cluster. I'll start searching for clusters.
Also, do you buy stars or do you adopt them?
I don't know. You're the one that told me.
But also, if you're adopting a dog, don't you still have to pay for the dog?
A one-time fee.
A one-time fee?
When you adopt something, it's a one-time fee.
Oh, if I own a star, I would then let people rent the star. Is that something that we can start doing?
You might be on something here. Hey, I bought the star for $3. It could be yours for one night a week for 10 cents.
Here's the thing. I am never going to own a house in my life unless it is given to me because I can't afford anything.
We might be stumbling upon it here, Goo. For next Valentine's Day,
yeah,
I'm going to buy my girlfriend a star. You're going to buy your wife a star.
Yeah.
There's nothing greater. It's celestial.
But then we need to make money from it. That's what I'm saying, though.
Got to figure out how to make money off it. Simply
I own 3 stars. I have 3 certificates saying I own these stars. How do I make money from this?
One goo, 3, yeah! Goo. Just 3. Goo. King of Queens. Goo. Meryl Streep. Entertainment.
I'm Goo.
And I'm Mac.
And we are the Mac and Goo program. We bring you dull-colored friendship.
Okay, sure. I don't like your attitude.
Well, no, that's the color palette of the movie, and I don't. Some people are a little harsher on this movie, and you know what they say: cream rises to the top.
Oh,
so
you know what the bad guy's name in this, Goo, is?
Creme.
Creme.
Yeah, creme de la creme.
Creme rises to the top.
Creme City is what the Milwaukee Bucks are. Now, what I'm going to say to you,
In
'cause
this movie, also, sorry, creme eats a pie, but there was no creme pies.
there was no creme pies. So, like cream rising to the top,
Yeah,
negative reviews get the most clicks.
sure.
So
Sure.
while this might be floating around a 60% on Roddy T's, which is what it is right now, the more hateful reviews are going to be the ones that pop up on your timeline.
Yeah, this is falling victim to two things predominantly here, Goo. As we've seen in Marvel, the female-led films get absolutely lambasted by a certain percentage of the population. Now, that's happening here as well. It happened with Wonder Woman. It happens in general. Additional to that is, and there is a big overlapping percentage of folks here who still think Zack Snyder deserves his DCU. And so those people are going to lampoon every DCU.
They
project
also
from
don't
here
like
on out.
James Gunn. There are
Yeah.
some people that don't like James Gunn.
Yeah, and so then you have that. So there's a
They
lot
want
of things.
gun control. They're saying the gun is jammed.
There's a lot of things working against it, including the fact that, this is also a hero that's not that popular.
Yeah.
So there's a number of things at work here, Goo. And then outside of the DC and the Supergirl centric stuff, it is also going up against Toy Story 5, a juggernaut at the
No
theater.
chance.
And so it's just a bunch of factors that have led to it, in general, underwhelming response to this movie. But for you and I, Goo, I've almost felt, once we saw the reaction, I wasn't totally surprised to the Roddy
No.
T's score. But I'm like, did we watch a different movie? Because this is a generally enjoyable movie. I might agree that, okay, you don't necessarily have to see it in the theaters, which hurts it, number one.
Yeah.
But it's a generally good theater experience. The characters are good. Yeah, the story's nothing unique, but I mean, and again, I might be the simpleton here. If you give me a story and story notes and themes that I like, I'll watch that over and over and over again if I like the characters.
Friend of the podcast, Wesley Burho, asked me, said, is this a movie that I need to go on Friday night to see, or can I wait for the discounted price on Tuesday? And I said, the discounted price on Tuesday might be that baby bear porridge.
Yeah, that's a good one for it. I think that this is a perfect $6 Tuesday movie, whether we like it or whether DC likes it or not.
Yeah. Who gets the money for that?
I'm assuming the theater doesn't get much of that ticket money. They're trying to get people in the door to sell the snacks, Goo, which
If
you will
we-
not be buying.
If we
You're going
own
to be
a
bringing
star,
your own burritos.
if we own a star
Mm-hmm.
and we see someone outside with a telescope, we can get them arrested, right?
I think we get a tenth of a penny per scope.
Yeah, so we need to start going around at night looking for people
Policing
on telescopes.
scopes.
I own a telescope.
Do you scope a scope with do you need a scope to scope the scope?
I'd have binoculars to scope.
Oh,
scopes.
you'd go binos over there.
binos,
Okay. All right.
but at night you need the green binos.
The night Googles, yeah.
Oh my God, I'll tell you what, Paris Hilton was ahead of her time. But also, I have a
Paris Hilton's
telescope.
a big Splinter Cell fan.
I live in Boston.
Yeah, brag.
That light pollution, you can't see dick at night.
Yeah, you're in the city limits. You're in
Yeah.
Boston proper.
I can't see anything. It's not even worth owning a telescope.
Does that massive hotel block your view of the city, or is that off to the side?
It's off to the side, but when you look at the sky,
Mm-hmm.
it's just fog. There's no stars.
Goo! Supergirl is a PG-13 action, adventure, drama, and sci-fi. Subgenres of that, DC has now made it into IMDb as an official genre. DC.
You know what? That makes sense. We're a little more in your face than that Marvel garbage.
We also have space, sci-fi, and superhero.
Yeah.
This has a runtime of 107 minutes. The box office projection, Goo, for this week, the optimistic one, 55 million.
I don't think
Pessimistic,
so.
40 million. And it is trending to make only 150 to 200 million domestically. I don't have the worldwide number. So this is trending in the Mando and Grogu section, which is not good. Goo,
My hand is up. Can you
your
please
hand
call
is
on
up.
me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would hammer the under.
A 40?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think it's going to make like 45.
I'm going to go. You ready for this? Price is right.
Mm-hmm.
$25 million.
Well, these weren't the initial projections, Goo. These are the tempered ones off the initial projections.
And I'm going to temper it even further.
All right, I think you just lost some money, but that's a nice bet for you.
I'm going to lose my star. I'm going to wager my star on it.
Got good odds there. Goo, action, adventure, drama, sci-fi. There's not a ton of drama here because you know how it's going to kind of play out. But I think they did the action, adventure, and sci-fi well. I think all three of those they checked the box for.
Yeah, we're all in space. We're all racing across the galaxy. We're trying to find the bad guy to get the antidote.
I should have looked up the budget for this movie. It seems like based on how much money it's going to make, this could end up losing money. Not great being the second cinematic entry into James Gunn's DCU, but it's also, again, all those factors. And I don't think anyone thought the Supergirl movie was going to be the one that made the DCU either.
I was also hoping going into this that it would make just enough money to not fail, further the story, which I think it did, and not off-road what Gunn is doing. But
so
it might not, but it also might. There's a chance that it might.
It is teetering on two of those three things. I agree with you there. On Roddy T's Goo, the aforementioned score of 57 from the critics. We don't have an audience score yet because we're recording prior to this movie being out.
Brag
for us, huh?
Yeah. We put out a little tease.
Yeah.
Oh, let us know. Let us know. Do you want us to do more of that?
Yeah, you want more hors d'oeuvres?
You want... Now, we are only going to give you like 5-6 minutes.
Some whores to vores?
Take it easy. We're only going to give you 5 or 6 minutes. I feel like this is something that you might want.
Sure.
If you do, let us know. If you don't respond, we'll probably still do it anyways.
I think it's good for these in-between movies, for the $6 Tuesday movies. 152 critic reviews, so most critics have seen it, reviewed it already, and they're basically telling you it's okay. It's not great. It's not bad.
There's
it's okay.
nothing new.
Yeah.
If you loved Superman, this is flip it on its head and reverse it. Yeah.
Go on Metacritic of 50. So that's pretty low. The 57% I somewhat expected. The 50 is pretty low. I was expecting like low 60s, mid 60s for this, which would be solid, not great. So it does feel like they've got a bone to pick here because I think this movie is better than that. Speaking of the creators of the movie, Goo, this is written by Anna Nogueira, and we don't know her, Goo. She's new. She was initially hired by Warner Brothers in 2022 to write a spinoff for the Sasha Calle version. That's the version of the character Supergirl from The Flash. And then when Gunn and Safran came on, they were so impressed with her work and how she was adapting the source material, they kept her on for the new Supergirl script.
Does it concern you still that James Gunn said The Flash, which we didn't hate, but he said it's one of the best superhero movies of all time?
I told you that's where we started to turn on him a little bit. You can't, just don't lie to us, you know?
Once again, for a movie having a titular character and twins that we hate, it's about as good as you could have done.
Agreed. Totally agree there.
And twins!
Anna Nogueira is currently tasked with writing 2 more upcoming movies in the DCU.
Bet she doesn't.
Although one might be a show, but it's Teen Titans and Wonder Woman. I don't know if we're getting a Titans movie or not, but she's tasked with those 2 scripts.
You know what this might do, actually?
I didn't have an issue. So there was that Variety article calling this the worst written movie like ever.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near that.
That feels like a personal attack.
I didn't even have an issue with the writing. It's a bit lazy, but she's adapting a comic. What do you want?
You know what something like this might do? Is it might push the studio to tell James Gunn, use characters people already know.
Or you do those stuff. Or you hire notable guys.
Do Wonder Woman next. Give us Batman.
Yeah.
Give us Batman again.
Yeah.
Give us another Batman.
And I think
more Batman.
I think some of that attitude is resonating with a lot of people and now seeping into people's feelings amongst other stuff because it's hard to build out this universe without your Batman. And I think people are like, where's my Batman? It's my Batman. I need it now.
Also, what Superman had as an advantage over this movie is it was allowed to start in the middle, tell a story, and not do the origin story because we have seen the origin to Superman 50 times.
Yeah.
While we knew what the origin to Kara was, many people don't. So they had to explain.
I didn't know her origin story. Yeah.
Okay. So they had to explain why she's different than Superman. And they had to take 20 minutes of the movie that some might find a little tedious.
I liked it.
Mac liked it,
Yeah.
but some might find
I
it a
don't
little
know.
tedious.
I don't know shit about Supergirl, so I liked it.
There we go.
Yeah.
But they did have to detour from the story to go and do that.
Yep. And again, that's also a thing you've seen a million times where, all right, we're 40 minutes in, let's do a 10-minute flashback to explain why this person is the way he is.
How would you feel if instead of them doing the flashback, they just started the movie with text and they told you, and then you had to read?
No, would have hated that. The director of this movie is Craig Gillespie, who's had a very interesting directing career. You would know him from the American classic Mr. Woodcock from '07.
Mr. Woodcock is not my favorite movie. I know that you were insinuating that, but
he also directed Million Dollar Arm, I, Tonya, which was fantastic.
I loved I, Tonya.
Cruella, which I think did a lot better than we expected. He also directed Dumb Money, which was sneaky good. It was.
I didn't like
good.
Dumb Money.
Oh, I liked it.
I didn't like Dumb Money. I think I preferred Mr. Woodcock, starring Billy Bob Thornton, Stifler, and Ethan Suplee, and Thelma and Louise.
Selma Blair?
No, Thelma and Louise. Redhead.
Oh, Susan Sarandon?
Susan Sarandon.
You would know her from Thelma and Louise.
Where would you know Susan Sarandon from? Go ahead. Go ahead. No,
Stepmom.
go ahead.
Stepmom.
Stepmom, okay. All right, you got me. Fine.
Great movie. Brings a tear to your eye.
Maybe not my eye. I don't give a shit about stepmoms.
Different stepmom movie than a lot of people are expecting to see, too.
Oh, no, she got caught in the dryer again.
Upcoming for Craig Gillespie, he has something called Archie. Is that from the Archie comics? I'm not sure.
You know what? I'm going to assume so because Disney has a little thing with them.
There you go.
Not Disney. WB. Don't confuse. What? DC.
Gillespie is also directing 42.6 Years, which I think we've seen a teaser for or something like that.
Is that the Andy Samberg one?
Yes. Yeah.
So we haven't seen a teaser. We saw a clip in Florence Pugh, him and Florence Pugh on a bike.
That's what it was. And I think we briefly talked about it during the movie draft.
It's an interesting concept because he gets frozen and then tries to find the love of his life, but she is now old.
Yeah, there you go. So Craig Gillespie directing that. Synopsis of Supergirl. Kara Zor-El, a.k.a. Supergirl, joins forces with an unlikely companion on an interstellar journey of vengeance and justice when an unexpected adversary strikes too close to home.
Here's what I think people have an issue, and it's in that synopsis. This is the same synopsis to like 10 movies that have come out in the last like
Minus
7-8 years.
the interstellar part.
You could literally just take out names and that's Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, but you know what? But this is better than that movie. Number one. Number two.
That's because you were promised less. That's the only reason why. It's because you were promised less.
This has some of those like key Western themes of revenge. Like they talk about True Grit being an inspiration for this movie, and it has a lot of that. It also has a lot of stuff we've seen before, which is fine. But that's what keeps it from being great, of course. And, something people are going to run home and tell their friends to see. But it doesn't make it bad because everything we've seen is like other stuff. How many friends do
you have? Like, what is this? I don't talk to my friends about anything. Are we even friends anymore?
This movie stars Millie Alcock as Kara Zor-El, a.k.a. Supergirl.
I liked her.
Yeah, she was very good.
Yeah.
Good to great, in fact. Eve Ridley as Ruthie. That's the little girl. She's the unlikely companion. She's the Grogu. Matthias Schoenarts as Krem. He's the bad guy, and he's a really bad guy.
Yeah, and so if you like complex villains, where you're saying to yourself, do I side with them? Do they have a point? This guy I don't even think has a plan. He's just a bad person.
If you like people that rape, rob, and pillage, this is a villain for you.
If you are into Vikings, if you are into pirates, we're in space, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and he's also bedazzled, so if you like that, too.
That was actually one of my favorite, not my favorite parts, but there was a little joke of like a headbutt, and then you get the bedazzled on your face.
Yeah, I like that. I like that they came off. I'd like to know how he acquires them. Also,
do you want to do that to your face?
No.
Is that what you're telling me?
No. It'd be interesting on my head though, as a fellow bald.
Oh, I noticed that you got hair transplants. No, those are beads. Those are silver beads.
I walked into the adult section of the video store and they just stuck to my head. Jason Momoa.
Are you a human disco ball?
Jason Momoa.
Yes, I am.
Jason Momoa as Lobo. I'll say this: if you're listening to this point and you haven't seen this movie and you're thinking about seeing it for Lobo reasons, you're going to be a little disappointed. He's really in like 1.5, 2 scenes.
Also, I would have taken one of those half scenes away. I think you got a little too much Lobo because he just does the same thing over and over again. But
I think I would have added a scene. So they middled it, I
Paratine
suppose.
facing Lobo over Aquaman as a fit.
Yes, correct.
Like my wife said to me, why is he in this movie after he was Aquaman? Why is he a new character? And I said, first off, different timelines. Read a book.
Mm-hmm.
Second off, if you look at a photo of this character, it is Jason Momoa.
If you look at a photo and the character traits match him and what he's
motorcycles,
good at better.
Laughing,
Yes.
Throwing hooks.
Yes.
It's all stuff that we've seen Momoa do on the Jimmy Fallon show.
Goo, also in this, of course, is David Cornsweet as Superman. He's mostly there on a screen. He FaceTimes in a couple times. He's there for a reason.
I love this character, though.
I
love him as Superman.
I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree. David Krumholtz plays Kara's father,
I
Zor-El.
had no idea he was in this movie.
I thought I did. I don't remember. He's good. He's good in the flashbacks. Emily Beecham plays her mother, Allura Zor-El. And then we also have some notable characters here, Goo. Ruthie's family is played by Ferdinand Kingsley. That's Elias, the sword maker. Her mother's played by Emily Pigford. Her brother is Bruce Lennox. And then, Goo, the couple, Talissa Teixeira as Marek Vran and Kadif Kirwan as Bomar Vran. So that's all you really need to know character-wise for this movie. Goo, in this universe, in James Gunn's DCU, this is technically, I think, the fourth entry. We have Creature Commandos, Superman, and Peacemaker Season 2.
But parts of Season 1 count.
Like 8 seconds of Season 1 count, I think. The hey, here's what you missed at the beginning of Season 2.
Yes.
That I think that all counts.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be the fourth entry. And if you remember at the end of Peacemaker Season 2, which came out post-Superman, end of Superman, we see Lex locked up, yada, yada. Peacemaker Season 2 has the company Argus, which is run by Rick Flag Sr., or organization. They utilize Lex and his tech guy, whose name escapes me, to make use of Peacemaker's portal technology. And with that, they put Chris, a.k.a. Peacemaker, on that planet Salvation, trap him there. That's really real relief.
They trap him with the Peppermint Twins.
And then, Goo, next up in this universe, we're looking forward to Lanterns.
Yes.
A HBO Max show.
That is in
HBO
August?
show. I think it's July.
July?
It could be
no,
August.
So they just started Game of Thrones. I think Lanterns is after Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, you're probably right.
So as soon
maybe
as
first week of
Thrones
August.
ends, it's 8-episode run, question
Probably,
mark?
I'm assuming.
Then we get Lanterns.
And then in October, I believe, we're getting Clayface cinematically.
Someone's talking about him cutting off his eyelids with scissors.
So this will be, they're going to need those two to land.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm not questioning where they're going or gone at all until maybe those two flop. If that happens, then we're like, okay, we have 3 good, 3 not so good. Let's see where we are. But I want to underscore here, yes, this movie is not the most creative. However, it takes a character that no one really cares about and makes her endearing, makes her good.
I think some people do care about her because she got that television show for a while.
Oh, Melissa Benoist from
Oh,
from
to the
Glee.
critics, and I'm not going to poke at the critics
I don't know how to
because
say her name.
we are critics. That's what we are, Mac.
Sure,
You and I, we're critics.
Yeah.
Just like John Lovitz. But to the people that are like, that makes you miss the 1984 movie, shove that up your butt. Shut up.
Yeah, kick rocks.
No, that movie stinks. Don't. This movie makes you miss. No, it doesn't. That is such a garbage statement.
Before we get to the gauntlet and before we spoil this movie, I just want to underscore once again:
Stop underscoring shit.
If you like classic superhero movies and classic superhero themes, where you have a really bad guy and it's, oh, will this hero do this to save so and so? You're gonna like this. It's a classic thing. It's not new. It's not unique. It's not groundbreaking. But if you give me good characters with good action sequences and a fun soundtrack, I'm probably going to like the movie, Gil.
Your blurb on the DVD is just, it's not new, it's not groundbreaking, whatever, and then just thumbs up.
One thumbs up.
One thumb? I got a bunch of thumbs here. Should we do our nonagon?
Yeah, let's do it.
Fun factor, I had a little bit of fun with Supergirl early as she deals with her off-planet difficulties, but it wasn't until we got some of the action at the end that I was kicked up to that next fun level. So it didn't have a ton of fun.
It didn't have a ton. It had enough, I'd say.
Enough fun. And I do like when Superman shows up.
He didn't really show up.
When he shows out.
Don't trick the folks into thinking.
I love the 20 scenes. He shows up in the background of every scene, and he does something cool every single time.
I think the action was fun here. I laughed out loud twice. One, I'm not sure they intended, but it was hilarious. So it's fun. It's fun enough.
That's a good point by you. It's not as funny as they think it is.
That's true too.
That might hurt it.
Yeah. That's where you needed maybe Gunn to co-pen this, not leave it up to just Noguera and have him write a little bit of it.
I feel like when someone said, hey, can you punch up this script? They thought add more punching scenes as opposed to write jokes.
Yeah.
That's a really fucking stupid thing I just said. This is one of our we're not having a good time, guys.
Yeah,
Satisfactor, while the movie on the whole not the most satisfying, I do like the conclusion.
The resolution in this movie I found incredibly satisfying.
Yeah.
And to me the big market tease of this movie is like, okay, she's very much like Superman in a lot of ways, but her decision making is much different.
Power-wise similar.
Yeah, and it
Brain,
leads to
livelihood,
more satisfying
yes.
conclusions. And I want heroes with this power. I wish it was even more fantastic what happens, but I was very pleased with the resolution between Supergirl and Krem.
Borometer, I thought it had a consistent level to it. And if you think that level is kind of boring, I'm not going to argue with you, but I don't think it had any big dips.
No, I agree. It was the pulse was good on this. The pulse was
maybe
good.
For the flashbacks, but once again, they needed the flashbacks
They were necessary.
to explain this character.
They were necessary for this and to round out Clark, aka Superman's story.
Halloween, will this movie wane over time? And there is a possibility, but I think that Mac, out of spite, is going to like it more.
I have found myself, in general, liking these female-led superhero movies more than the general public. And yes, some have weaned over time.
Yeah.
But I feel like I still enjoy, like, Wonder Woman with the appropriate critiques is still an enjoyable experience. And I came away thinking, like, this isn't that far from that. I might have liked it more than that.
That's because you like a good ending.
Yeah, exactly.
Waterworld, is this better or worse than the 1995 classic Waterworld?
It's better.
Yeah.
It's better.
When life gives you lemons, he takes a roll and says, this is mine. No matter how small it is, you're going to remember it forever. Who did that? Who said, I'm Jesse Plemons in this movie? And made you say, hey now. Hey now.
This is what dreams are made of. So, you could say Momoa's Lobo. It wasn't my favorite. I thought Krumholtz as Zor-El was great.
Yeah, he was good.
He made Plemonade in his, 3 scenes?
Max Credit Union.
So this one is a little tougher, and this is where I'm thinking, the standout factor for this movie is lacking in both maybe the performance. Millie Alcock was very good to great, but it's not going to keep you coming back. And there's also, as good as the action scenes were, there's nothing that's like, oh, you got to see it for this.
Yeah.
So I'll give credit to Alcock for delivering on the role, and I think definitively better than what we saw in The Flash from, what's her name, Sasha Calle. I don't even know how to say her last name. But I also want to point out here that Eve Ridley, the younger teenage-ish girl, she belonged. She didn't get in the way. She was pretty good.
Pants Tent City. Excite Bike Mania. What got you going from this flick? I enjoy seeing Supergirl ragdolling people.
Yeah, a couple of great action scenes, but once again, the pants tent for me here is at that conclusion. The resolution, what happens there, I was tremendously satisfied by.
For those of you tardy to the Mac and Goo Party, we rate everything on a 40 hot dog rating system. Mac, I thought this was a pretty good DC world builder, a wonderful counter to the bright, optimistic Superman. This side, we're looking at dull colors. We're looking at off-planet. We're looking at her with a much more jaded attitude. Millie Alcock was great. I enjoyed having a villain. I don't want this every time, but every once in a while, a villain that just purely sucks and there's nothing more to it. You don't like him and he's doing bad things.
And on that note, Goo, too,
Yeah.
there has been, as we said, a lot of criticisms about the lack of depth in the villain.
Mhm.
For someone's first movie, first adventure, totally fine having a faceless villain to just defeat. It's a stepping stone onto greater things.
It wasn't as much Guardians as the trailer made it look to be. I've seen a lot of people comparing it to more of a Mad Max. I am seeing that. I love it. Well, don't say too much. David Corenswet popping up every once in a while as Superman. But I will say this. I am sick of the kid sidekick / they are now pulling the reluctant hero along with them. I've just seen this too many times, and I don't need this really anymore. I liked Momoa. I would have liked maybe 1 or 2 scenes less. Give me that 1 or 2 action scenes, and that's really all we need there. And then the conclusion, while I like where we end up, and we'll talk about this in spoilers, I'm just curious about the bad guy planning / then convenience of how she is able to step forward.
Yeah, understood, Goo. Where do you have it, hot dog wise?
32.
Okay. Yep. Pretty reasonable. So that's a B-. Yeah, sounds about
B-,
right.
yeah.
Goo, I am thinking about this, and I've already framed it this way, and I think it's naturally, normal to compare this to the prior female-led superhero movies because
That's because you're a one-track brain boy.
They're facing a lot of the same criticisms. So with that in mind, I'm talking about Captain Marvel, The Marvels, Wonder Woman, and Birds of Prey, 4 of the more notable ones over the last decade plus. I think I liked this movie as much as any of those, maybe more. So with that in consideration, I gave Captain Marvel 33. That might have come down a dog or two. I gave The Marvels 34, which I still don't know why that didn't do all that well. Wonder Woman, I gave it 34, which maybe has come down 1 or 2 as well. And Birds of Prey at 27. So I think this is right in that range, like 33, 34. And again, maybe that's lazy on my end, not comparing it to those, but it just seems natural to do that. My main criticism of the movie is that when James Gunn hit with Guardians of the Galaxy, it was somewhat similar outset. A character, especially there, it's not as much here, a character no one is really tied to. Everyone knows Supergirl, but no one's claiming Supergirl's their favorite hero. So you have the ability to take some swings here. They did it in Guardians of the Galaxy with the nameless, faceless villain like Ronan stinks. They didn't do it here. They played it pretty conservatively. And don't get me wrong, I liked what we got, but it was missing that swing at the fence here. And I get maybe that's because this movie's coming second as opposed to Guardians, which came 10th, 12th in the MCU.
It's never me, but
so it served. It did a good job of being a table setter and a world builder. I wanted it to take a couple more swings, even one more swing, a big swing. It didn't do that. So that's my primary criticism. Secondarily, I wish they either made me really like Lobo or had less of him. To your point, they kind of middled it. A little bit less would have teased him more. The amount that we got, I think, was intended for you to love him and look forward to more outings with him, and I didn't feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, I think I have this at 33 hot dogs. I like this movie. I think it's worth seeing in the theaters. If you don't, I'm not going to blame you, and you're also not going to regret it, I don't think.
I'm also curious, too, just looking at box office-wise, this movie is, I think, as close to, like, pushing it toward an R without it being an R.
Yeah, so that might have helped it as well.
But also, I don't think any children are going to be able to go and support, this making money. Like, if you have a daughter that you want to bring to the female-led superhero movie, or like me with my son's asked me a couple times, can I go see it? I'm like, you're turning 6. No, you're not seeing this for probably a handful of years.
And you know what? Once again, they middled it there. They missed out on the sweet R stuff and tried to do a little bit of it. You end up with the PG-13, but PG-13 on the high end of it. So
yes.
you're you can't have a 6-year-old see it. You can't have an 8-year-old see it. It's just they in a couple instances, instead of making a decision and sticking to something, they tried to do both things, and they really middled both.
Shall we get to spoilers?
Let's do it. Spoilers.
Really only one thing, and it is, so the final act of the movie, we are taken to a planet that has both a yellow and a green sun. If the plan was to have Kara die because of the green sun, why not pick a planet, and maybe there are none, maybe we're fucking stupid. Why would you take her to a planet that after 12 hours she'll be repowered?
So here's my answer to that, Goo.
Go on.
Her coming to in the sunlight, the yellow sun, and getting her powers back, we all saw coming from a mile away. In my head, this was Krem and his crew's best course of action to protect against someone like Supergirl, someone like Superman, that there isn't a planet that exists with just a green sun. So their next best option was to have 12 or 14 hours of coverage
and
with a green sun.
They were trying to find her.
Yeah.
They were trying to have her on the planet, find her, and kill her. So that is that. It wasn't just bring her there and just expect her to die.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, we're setting this up for this. That's super convenient.
I agree. Convenient, lackluster from a storytelling standpoint, but I also was like, I get it. You don't have to like it, but I get it.
When he created those little pin missiles that had little traces of kryptonite in there, why didn't he just poison her with the same poison that the dog got poisoned with? Because that's going to kill, or would that not affect her because the sun is there?
Yeah, once the sun was out, I think he was fucked.
When she was on the planet where there was a yellow sun, she was still able to be poisoned. She had to throw it up. So she can be poisoned.
Yeah. There are obviously questions amongst that stuff. And when you introduce that stuff and get into that stuff, you're opening yourself up to criticism and with the consistencies. I do like, however, that there are some hard and fast rules, right? Red sun, normal. Yellow sun, powers. Green sun, death. When it comes to the intermittent stuff, like, I get people might be like, well, she could do this, but couldn't do this. That's always the case with all these heroes and all these movies. You could do it better, surely. But it didn't bother me, I guess, to the extent that it's bothered some other people.
Do you have anything else in spoilers?
Yeah, so she kills Krem. She stabs Krem square in the chest and then basically slits his throat, which Superman would never do in a million years. And I loved it.
Maybe not in this universe. He did do it in the Snyderverse.
I would have liked to see her laser eye his head off. That's what I was really wanting.
Because even when
that's where PG-13, they could only do that.
When she slit the throat, no blood came out.
Yeah,
maybe he doesn't have blood. I don't know how aliens
She walks away.
But yeah, a blast to the head would have been sick.
Yeah, that would have been. And that's what they're missing, sticking with the PG-13 from R. I like the act. I wish I could have seen a more grandiose sort of performance with the killing. And I liked also, this was a great small conversation. She talks Ruthie out of it, lets Ruthie walk away.
You don't want to live with this. You don't want this burden on your shoulders for the rest of your life.
And she's already gone through this and burdened with other things. She's like, I don't give a fuck. I'll kill whoever the fuck I want. So that's what makes her really interesting going forward and sets her up in a universe. Now she's back at Earth. You get, I guess, not a post-credit, but kind of, her at the end of the movie back on Earth with Clark, and her being a little bit of a wild card, being as powerful as Superman. I love having her at play.
Let's get into MacSack.
And MacSack could be anything. It could be a boat. Mac, I stumbled upon this on the old X. This is from Obsession star Indy Navarrete. She was asked for a list of hear me out. So the hear me out of sex them.
Someone you would do.
Yeah.
But someone's got to hear you out. You
got to explain
yourself.
you see them and you're like, let me explain to you why they're pretty attractive.
Yeah.
Her number one is Optimus Prime.
Totally get it. The voice.
Which she has said in the past that she was obsessed with Optimus Prime through her teenage years.
Cool. And as we keep going on with these next two, her three hear me outs.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing better on planet Earth for nerdy, dorky men like you and I
Yeah.
to have a hot female get into nerdy and dorky stuff. And I'll tell you what, Indy Navarrete is shooting up so many people's lists
She
right
builds
now.
her own computer.
She knows what
She
she's
streams.
She loves Linux operating system.
Her second one was Shrek. He's super tall and protective.
I'd like to
get it.
see where the cutoff is for super tall. Maybe she'd be interested in an ogre like myself.
And then finally, this is the best one, Mufasa.
Mufasa.
Mufasa is powerful.
I'll tell you.
Big voice. I think she's a voice thing.
She
a
likes
powerful
she likes
voice.
bassy voices
Yeah.
who are protective. All
Yeah.
three of them have it.
I'm going to ask you, top of your head. Hear me out, Mac.
Hear
what do you
me
think?
out.
And she brings up two that I'm going to throw at you right now.
Okay.
Ogre Fiona.
Yeah, she's thick. Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Sure.
All right, hear me out, Fiona. And
Sure.
then this one for both of us, because she's got them eyes. Nala.
Oh, yeah, that's not even.
Oh, my God.
I don't think you gotta explain Nala to anyone.
No one needs an explanation for Nala.
Yeah.
In The Lion King, the way that when Simba pins her down and she looks up, what in the world is happening?
If you don't understand, first of all, anyone listening to this podcast is going to understand that.
Yeah.
If I have that conversation with someone and they don't hear me out and they don't get it, you're not my friend.
Or even like, you don't need me to explain.
Yeah, like you get it, right?
You've seen The Lion King, right? Like, I don't think we can count a Jessica Rabbit,
Yeah,
It's too
Princess
obvious.
Jasmine, too obvious.
cartoon April O'Neil.
Yeah, too obvious.
I guess it would have to be some kind of like an
Lola
alien.
Bunny, too obvious.
Lola Bunny. People are really into Judy Hopps. Now, I think as a society, we have an issue, by the way.
I think
But
the issue, now that we're stumbling upon it, is all of the male artists are drawing the female characters extremely sexually.
I think the issue we have is that, like, she has this small list and she's kind of explaining herself.
Yeah.
For guys, as soon as you say a character, I'm like, yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
There's no explanation to any
Stop
of it.
right there.
It's
I've
like,
got the
oh,
poster.
okay. Oh, that 1 foot rabbit. That's also a cop. I get it. Is that what we're getting into? Is it's just
Technology is simply too good to not be.
all right? I guess this is our last episode. We're going to jail. Mac, where can the folks find us?
You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Mac and Goo Podcast. That is Mac. I'm getting it all backwards here, Goo. Every other platform where you're Mac & Goo. It's Mac Shift 7 Goo. That includes Facebook, Stitcher, TuneIn, Castbox, Spreaker, Google Play,
iHeartRadio.
We're on Spotify. More importantly, we're on Apple Podcasts. Get on there, rate, review, subscribe, 5 stars. Goo, we are sponsored by the folks over at Watertown Sportswear.
I don't know if I'd call it sponsored by,
Watertown
but okay.
Sportswear on 34 Mont
After
Auburn
our
Street.
last segment, they heard it and they said, hey, make sure you say sponsored by. After
34
you talk about wanting to fuck the lion, tell everybody that this is what we are pushing forward.
Watertown Sportswear. 34 Mont Auburn Street in Watertown. WatertownSportswear.com.
Guys, just Google Nala eyes.
Expert screen printing and embroidery.
My wife checks my Google search. It's like, what? That's weird. At least you aren't looking up girls.
Yeah.
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 tpublic.com merch. Check us out next week. We're going to have a news dump and you're going to see Toy Story 5.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Bo Peep from Toy Story.
You don't, once again, don't need that. We saw her when she took off her big bloomin' dress and she had that figure. But then you go down the road of all of these Pixar moms, man.
Oh, God. Don't get me started.
Oh, hear me out. Fucking Shakira, the Shakira Gazelle from Zootopia. Holy, what the hell? Are you sure you just don't want to hear? Do you just want to say Shakira? No, the Gazelle. The Gazelle.
Specifically.
The Gazelle. Remember that part of the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
All right, whatever. We'll see you next week. Tuesdays for Goose Days. I abuse kangaroos. Tim Burton.
Bye.
Now it's time for girls jumping on worms.